For this final session, we're gonna have a look at the centralized access management private, soon to be public preview. We're gonna look at the timelines, the features that we have included, and also some new enhancements that are coming as part of your feedback in the insider preview. So this is the agenda. So look at the timeline, look at the features, have an end-to-end demo of all the features, and then look at when is it coming. So from a timeline perspective, we started a private preview early in January. We had a bunch of roundtables, which we actually extended now up until the end of April. It's like the feedback kept flowing. So we're aiming to have public preview for all of these features by the end of April. Probably the public preview will go up until the end of May, and then we'll have general availability. By then, you can still sign up for all of these features in the private preview using the Insider portal. Talking about the features, let's see what they are. So. Um, these are the feature highlights. There's also some others that are just smaller and were not mentioned here. But the preview contained multiple features from audit, user access, review export capabilities, which we're going to see today. An easy way to export all of your users' roles and role assignments to granular org roles. You don't need to be an org admin to do certain actions. You can have a granular org role that it can assign or even create for one of your users. Then we have improvements in the check access area. You can now check the access for a user or a group for an external application, and you can see also the folders that it has access to in an expansion of the orchestrator navigation. And then custom roles is one big one that we're also going to see today. Custom roles will be a feature that will be applicable in multiple levels, from organization to tenant to even service. Um, and you'll be able to do all sorts of things with it. And then last but not least, tenant tagging. So you're gonna have an easier way to tag your tenants into dev, test, and prod. It was actually modified initially. It was only production, non-production. Now we extended this to have dev, test, and prod. So we're not gonna waste time on any other stuff in the presentation. We're just going to go directly into it, and we're going to put a hat of an admin, right? And we're going to start with the tenant type, right? We're going to create a new tenant, and you're going to see we'll actually call it production. You won't need to do this naming convention anymore, right? This could easily be called let's say Japan, right? And you would be able to use the tenant type to determine the type of your tenant, right? In this case, I'll just leave it to production, but you can easily select the development or staging. um, the regions will depend on the tenant type that you select. For example, for staging tenants, which also contain the canary tenants, you won't have all the regions available. But besides that, the tenant types themselves are purely tags. You can use them for reporting purposes. In the future, we'll be able to add more to this, including um, ways, for example, to limit certain functionality depending on the tenant type, or even we heard feedback from you, change the theme depending on the tenant type and so on, or the color of the tenant, right? For now, we'll just create the production. We'll select to have all the services, and then just hit create, right? It's creating. It has this globe icon. If you have If you have a non-production or a testing tenant, you'll see this different icon in here. While it's creating, it's already done. Let's also create a group for it so that we can play around and create afterwards some custom roles. So I created Japan. I want to create also a group that I want to associate to the tenant. We'll just create the Japan group, and then add it. And now I wanna make sure that some of my users from that group, right, can access the Japan tenant, right? And the way I can do that is right now you will see this manage access style in all of the like from the org level to the tenant level, right? You or to also to the service level. So you'll be able to do access management at all levels, which means that if I want to create, if I want to assign the group, assign it some permissions in here in this tenant, I'm able to do that, right? But I can have a look at the roles. I have only the tenant administrator. I want to actually create a new one. So I'll be just going to the roles and hitting create role. And I will create a new role for document understanding, uh, and maybe also something else, right? I'll just add a role name, a description, and in here, right, you'll be able to see that you can combine permissions from multiple places. Like, for example, I am able to combine document understanding, which was my primary ID in here, but I can also combine with IXP permissions, and I can also add the users to have tenant level capabilities, like they're able to do authorization and role assignment, for example, right? So if I do this, right, I created the role. It's called document understanding. Not very wise on my side. Maybe I'll just edit it. Let's just say, actually, you can edit the role name once it's created. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but let's go for it. You should be able to do that. And then I want to assign it, right? So I created the previous group. I will search for it. Japan. This is my group. And then I will just give it a new document understanding role, right, which grants access to multiple services, not only to one. And if I want to check how this looks right now, right, and actually to what services I have access, I can go ahead and click check access and search for my Japan group and see where I have where are my permissions lying, right? So I can see I have the document understanding, which is actually appearing at the tenant level, right? But you can also see it in document understanding, and you should be able to see it also in IXP because it grants you permissions to both. Right, but you are able to see if you go into the permissions tab, you're able to see the permissions that it grants you. One other improvement that we did on the check access side is that in Orchestrator now you also have the option to drill down and check the access into the folders. Right, so if you have permissions associated at the folder level, right, you'll see here the entire folder hierarchy, and you're able to troubleshoot. Good. So we talked about the different types of roles. You'll be able to see this in at the org level. I showed you also at the tenant level. I can also show you at the let's see, document understanding level, right? If I want to create a role, I can just go into manage access. The interface is the same, it's consistent. And when you create a role, this time I want to create a project role. So you can assign it only on a project level. You select project from here, and then you would, for example, let's say I want to be able to do only dataset export, right? And then you create this. You have a granular permission, right, that you created, you can assign to the user to do just that on document understanding, right? So this is available in document understanding. It's available also in XP, and it will be available also in apps in the same interface, the capability to create a role, right? All right, last but not least, you're able to create all these roles and have multiple places where you can do now access management, right? The granularity is evidently higher, but how do you do your audit? So in terms of audit, what we introduced is a new check access API, check access export API, for which we actually in the inside the portal you'll find like a postman collection where you can see like how to use the API. The API basically exports all of the roles and role assignments for all of your users inside inside your organization, right? All you need to do is just download the collection, set up an environment with your personal access tokens and org names, and then you're all set to go. You can just use it, right? In my case, I already set this up, right? You have options to set up the export type as JSON or CSV. Let's try CSV for now. And the expand group membership expands the group members from that you get in the export, right? Now, if I hit send, it'll take a while because this one is like in this particular organization we actually have a bunch of users, right? So we got now the CSV. You can go ahead and save the response to a file. Let's save it, right? It's saved. I can open it now, and then in here, I can check, for example, let's do a quick filter, and in you're able to see data around the role name, the role ID, the description, if it's a built-in role, if it's as the assignment was custom or built-in. You're able to see the scope, right? We also have a scope with display names where you can see like the tenant, where it came from, if it's on a specific, if it's assigned, the assignment is in a particular folder, right? And in the security principal email, you can go ahead and do your filtering. I'll just search for myself in here, right? So this is like the result of all of my roles and role assignments. You can see them in here. And you can do this audit. This is just a snapshot. You can do it every month for audit and compliance purposes. All right. And with that, I conclude the demo. We still have 1 month of preview. Feel free to sign up and share your feedback. And yeah, with that, I will have a look at the chat to see if you have any questions.
Yeah, just you can answer these live since you're the last up here. So the first one from Raven, can we now pull last active users from the API?
With this report, no, but we can do that with a separate API, so we can combine the two. The audit, the new audit capabilities that we're bringing, and they're currently also in public preview, will have that information, right? So you'll have to combine two APIs, but it's essentially is not in this API.
Got it. Next one, will tenant names still need to be unique? So to have Japan prod, staging, and dev, you would still need unique names for these three tenants?
That's a good question. Yes, the tenant name will still be unique, and it's like you need to would it be unique per tenant type? That's something that we can think of doing, maybe even up until the preview ends. Well, we don't have that currently. It needs to be unique, but it's a good improvement. We'll take a note of that.